Welcome back to Make It with Mod Podge. I'm Cathie Fillion.
And I'm Steve Piacenza, and today on Make It with Mod Podge, we are going back to school.
We've got 12 plus design ideas for your dorm room and beyond.
Yeah, today's a fun day because we are going galactic today.
That's because we're using galactic paper or galaxy paper for all of these projects, and we've got some fun techniques using paints and Mod Podge glitters. Now, we chose this theme because it's so cool and we love it, and it's super trendy right now for the dorm room decor. But if this isn't your style, what you need to do is grab a paper pack that is your style. You love butterflies and flowers, do that. You can get all different coordinated papers. If you've watched Make It with Mod Podge, you know that we love paper packs because you can coordinate a look so quickly just with these paper packs. So grab the paper pack of your choice and then get inspired with all the ideas we're going to show you today.
And if you know anybody that's going back to school, maybe it's a son or a daughter, maybe it's a friend, and maybe it's you, definitely share this video because we're loaded with some fun ideas today.
And all of these are really tailored to the dorm room. First apartment too. I think they work for first apartment also.
Well, let's show what's the gigantic elephant in the room. First of all, there's two things that, what was it that you read, Kat?
So we were researching dorm stuff, and the number one purchase thing for a dorm room is the bed in a bag. And we're not making a bed in a bag.
I think that's for the girls, and the guys, it's definitely the mini fridge.
I think the moms buy it.
Yeah.
They buy that bed in a bag. But the second most purchased thing is the mini fridge. So we said, you know what, we got to get some paper and Mod Podge down on one of these.
And there's just a quick idea right in front here, but we're going to go back to this in just a little bit. Let's show you what we're going to be making today. And we have Eddie on camera today. Yahoo for Eddie. Come on over here, Eddie. We're going to show some of these projects that we have back here. We are showing how to turn a plain old cooler into something like this using Mod Podge and glitter and papers and layering up. These are great gifts, and these are a lot of fun to make for the dorms. We're also going to do a very simple IKEA lamp that we just added some scrapbook paper. We're also going to be doing some artwork, very cool. And one of my favorite projects is the marbleizing right back here.
And the same technique that we're going to use for marbleizing, we actually use to create these really fun jars. Now these are great for battery operated candles, makeup brushes, pens, whatever. We're going to show you some fun, quick and easy dorm room artwork, jewelry organizers. This is a craft caddy. Of course, you could put your school supplies in there too. We've got some fun ways to alter a paddle using scrapbook paper. And one of my favorite, nothing's getting wasted, we're creating some fun clings that you can use on your dorm room windows. And you can spell out letters or do stars and stripes, whatever you want to do.
All right.
So let's get to it. So much fun stuff today.
Okay, so we are going to start with the cooler here, and as you can see, this cooler was just a red cooler, and we used some paint.
And cheap, $10.
Super cheap. We did paints, we did Mod Podge, we did papers, we did glitters, and you can see if you come really close in here, all the different kind of styles we did. It's all about layering up. Every college student needs this. These are great gifts from student to student, all sorts of things.
And this is like, a lot of people do these coolers for date night parties and things like that. And I'm calling it a collage cooler. So if anybody follows on our Instagram, you might have seen that we did a story on this as work in progress because, you know, just for fun. And this is just an inexpensive cooler like that. And you can see we collaged all the way around it. And one thing that's important, Steve's going to show you all the different techniques that we did on this.
Yes.
And it's important to do all those steps because you want to make sure that the cooler is completely sealed. And we're going to seal it in the very end.
Oh, with the Ultra.
The Mod Podge Ultra.
We love the Ultra.
We're using lots of different products, but we have it all set out to show you. It's super fun.
You can see here we got lots of different products that we're going to be using. I'll get into that in just a minute. But the first thing is, this used to be a red cooler, just a plain old red cooler that you guys have seen at the stores. $10, very cheap. First thing we did with it is we primed it with chalk, the white chalk.
And this is my favorite for primer. It works great on plastic.
Yeah, so you can see we did a bunch of step outs here on the cooler all the way around just to show you step by step. So we painted the red, covered it with the white chalk, and then what we did is we used our Folk Art lavender, and we painted that right here. Just a nice layer over the chalk. And then from there, we did our purple color shift.
Ooh,
The reason why we use the color shift, you get a nice close-up on that. The color shift is fantastic because it gives it's a metallic type paint and it really plays with the light. You
and
can
that's
see
the
that.
layering. I think all these different layers is really what gives it that galactic look.
Absolutely. It's from the lavender and then the purple galactic, the purple color shift right on top of it gives it that really great shine. So let me show you guys how to do that really quickly. So what I'm going to do is, here's the lavender. I did a nice section right here, just of the lavender. So remember, the chalk's underneath it, lavender's on top, and now I'm going to put some color shift right on over that. I'm just going to pour a little bit.
And these layers are important because you really, this cooler is going to get a lot of wear and tear. We hope, yeah. Right? So you want to make sure you're doing all these layers. And it's important to paint the whole thing with the glitters and everything because you don't know where you're going to end up collaging.
Yeah. How's that coming through, Eddie? Can you see that pretty nice?
Love it. Looks beautiful.
Okay, so you can see the metallics in this paint. Now this is called color shift. We loved this color. Color shift comes in a multiple range of colors, and you can see how nicely this goes on. It goes a long way, and I'm painting just in this section, and there we go. You can see how smooth it goes on. Remember, this section I already did, so this is the section I am doing just to show you guys, because I'm going to show you how we're going to sponge off. And what the sponging does is it really shows those dimensions, the layering, I should say.
And I'm setting up for the next project.
Nice.
Very messy.
Okay.
I need gloves on this.
So I got myself a sponge, a nice little wet sponge, and we're going to pull this paint off. So here we go. Get right in there, you can see.
I love that texture.
Is it better if I do that? You can see how it pulls off and it gives that layering look. So there it is. I'm not pulling too much off, but it's just enough. And remember that lavender is underneath there. So you're getting both these colors coming through. Just a nice little tap. There we go. It adds a beautiful dimension. You can see both colors, and once it dries, even more of that texture comes out. Then I let this dry, flip on over to the next little area that I did that's completely dry. And this I put on top of it.
My favorite.
The Mod Podge Sparkle. Great stuff. You can see, let's try to get some light in there. See all that sparkle coming through?
And that really helps seal the paint as well. We're doing several layers of sealing.
That's right. Okay, so once we're done with that, I'm going to give it a little shake, and we're going to add some sparkle. Oh, we didn't pre-open this one.
I was prepping something. I thought, where is Steve? I can't open my drawers.
Okay, then we're just going to add some sparkle right on top of that. Here we go. I'm going to do half of that right there. Look at that. That's the sparkle. Now again, it goes on a little bit milky white, but you can see those colors right in there. And then that's going to dry, completely dry. You're going to get those sparkles popping right out, just like that there. Okay? That's layer number 3. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to Mod Podge. Here we go. Where's my gloss cap?
Oh, I stole it. Let's see if I can get it open. Hope I don't get food coloring on everything.
Okay, then we're gonna do some Mod Podging. Very simple scrap paper Mod Podge right on top of where we added the sparkle. And we're gonna add some Mod Podge right on the back of my paper. Very easy, like so. And we're gonna add a little bit right on top of our cooler with the dried sparkle.
And you can see how we layered just tons around. You can really just collage this up. All different images. And all of these came from that paper pack and one additional sheet of scrapbook paper.
Okay, then I'm gonna add my paper right down there. Let's put it on a little bit of an angle. We're gonna seal that down. And you can see how you can just layer these coolers up. Just go crazy with these.
I really think the more you do, the more it's protected because you're adding layers and layers of sealing on there.
Yeah. Okay, now once that's done, let that dry a little bit. Then we're gonna add the mega glitter, which this stuff is the gold mega glitter, which is great. I'm gonna switch brushes again because we don't want to cross-contaminate. And I'm just gonna use some of this, get a nice close-up of our mega glitter there. This stuff is full and full of.
And it's a couple different
glitter.
sizes of glitter, so you get that base of the really, really fine glitter, and then there's chunky glitter as well.
So you can get right up in here, and we're just going to, and again, this is total preference. You can just add a little bit there. You can go around the rim, feather it in to your papers. You can see how with all the different Mod Podge formulas that you're able to really create the look that you want. Again, as Cathie said earlier, we're doing this galactic look, but let's say you wanted to do butterflies or floral paper. There's so many packs of paper out there. You can really
You could even, if you have a college, you could coordinate this to your college colors, your team colors.
Yeah.
You could really go, and if you've got fabrics, you can even use fabrics.
Okay, there we go. So you can see how simple that is. Let's bring that other cooler back over here real quick. You can see how simple that is. Layering, that's what it all is. And here we go. Again, do your, like Cathie said, your school colors. You can do whatever theme you want. This is a really fun, inexpensive project that all you guys can do. And don't forget, share this video if you know anybody that's going back to school or the dorms or,
Yes,
anyway.
this is such a fun, and this is a great one to make as a gift for someone too.
Yeah.
Next, we want to show you these fun jars that we're doing. Now, these jars were done with two different formulas, gloss Mod Podge and one of my favorites, which is the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. And I've gone ahead and prepped out a few of the things. This is what the extreme glitter looks like when it's dry. I hope you're catching all those sparkles. Looks like you are. Now, if you all have any questions, please ask away. We are going to be here typing away and answering any of your questions. You can add Mod Podge labels to it. You can add labels and stickers. We did splatter paint on these. It's really endless. If you wanted to not do the sparkles, you would just do a gloss. And it would just turn out like this. It would look like a faux stained glass kind of, or a faux colored glass. But we're going for the glitter because we love it. So we're gonna start with plain glitter in one. This is just the Extreme Glitter Mod Podge with no coloring in it. Then I've gone ahead here and I've mixed up some of these. This is just 1 drop of food coloring. So I'm gonna add 1 drop of food coloring. There we go. And these dry completely different than the way they look. So when you see like this one, for example, dries purple, but it looks baby blue. So even though you're using food coloring, it's not quite the same way that it reacts when you're doing a frosting or something like that. It's going to look very different when it's dry. So you just want to stir that up and get that mixed up good. And then you can do a solid color, or you can do sort of a blended color and get that kind of streaky look. So to get that streaky look, you want to start with a clean glass jar, and we're going to pour a little bit in. You really don't need that much. I mixed a lot because we're doing 3 different projects with this mix today. We don't want to waste any. Go ahead and pour a little bit more in. And I'm wearing gloves because I learned the hard way and I dyed my hands blue and green. It lasted for 2 days. So now I am wearing these gloves. And a little bit more in there. You can always add more if you need to. And then you're just going to rotate it, and you want to keep rotating it because you want to blend that all together. See how it's starting to blend together? You want to keep rotating that around. You want to try to get rid of those stripes. So just keep swirling it around. Add a little bit more on the other side. And just keep swirling that around.
And again, this is a really fun project with, the different kinds of color, the food colorings.
Oh yeah.
There's all sorts of colors. So again, you can combine whichever colors you want.
I was just telling Steve, I was like, I think I want to make these for myself for Halloween.
It's smart.
Do some lime greens
Yeah,
and
these
oranges.
are great to put the battery operated candles in. Beautiful.
Yeah, you cannot use real candles with these. So battery operated candles, but they're great for pencils.
Because we don't want to melt the Mod Podge.
So you'll just keep spinning it around like that until the whole thing is coated. And once the whole thing is coated, and actually the whole thing doesn't have to fully be coated, but once it's coated, you'll turn it upside down and put it in a tray or on something that you use for crafting. An old cardboard lid works. And you'll just let that sit. If you want, you can add a little bit more, but I'm gonna save it because I want to show you on the other project. And all of that Mod Podge will go down the sides. Let it sit like that for about 10 hours. And after 10 hours, then you'll turn it right side up and let it dry for about another 10 to 12 hours. So it definitely takes a good 24 plus hours before this is completely dried on the inside. And when it's dried on the inside, it's going to look like this.
Beautiful.
And I hope you can see how that sparkle comes through. It's so pretty. And I love this because that's a textured glass. So it even gives it more of a textured
Is that
look.
sparkle coming through, Eddie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Love
good,
it.
good.
Gorgeous.
You know what? There's been so many projects with the mason jars and all the glass jars. It's like we hope, maybe this is a new one for you guys. We hope. Yes.
You can also Mod Podge paper onto it. We did some paint splattering. So it's really endless. You can just keep creating these in different ways. This would be really cute even against a windowsill just to let the light shine through. They're so beautiful.
A lot of
made
different
out.
uses. Well, look at all this extra that we have. So me and Kathy, we do not like to waste, ever.
No.
So we're like, wait a minute. Okay, we got to think of more projects to do with this. And of course, we had them already in mind. And here's one of them, which I think is absolutely beautiful. This is just a canvas, simple canvas. And this is the marbleizing that is done with the exact same, what Kathy just showed you in the glass, but on top of canvas. It's a beautiful piece of artwork that could be hung. And again, color coordinated to your liking, but look at that. I mean, I just think it's stunning. Let me show you how to do it. It's very simple. Again, I'm gonna put these gloves on because we did learn the hard way and our fingers were blue, green, and purple for about a week.
It's like, oh, gloves.
Okay, so I'm taking the simple piece of canvas here, and I have we love using these aluminum trays
They're
that
like
you get for,
lasagna pans.
they're lasagna, they're for turkeys, they're for, you know, we've all used them, everybody has one.
We've obviously used this one a lot.
Yeah, so, you know, these are just things that we kind of had laying around. We're not sure where they came from, but
They were part of a packaging insert, but they work great.
But
as
they work
lips.
great. So
Yeah.
you guys can also people use those inexpensive shot glasses. You can also
Bottle
use
caps.
bottle caps, little blocks of wood.
I like tops from the, laundry detergent too.
Oh, that
'Cause
works
they're nice
great
and
too.
tall.
Absolutely. So we just place it on that. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drizzle our extreme glitter, the plain, just the white.
Yeah, nothing added to
Nothing
it.
on it at all. And I'm gonna start, how I like to do it is I like to start in the middle, and with this one, I like to go in a circular motion and go around and around and around, like that. That's my first one. I like to do it in stages. So my next color, I wanna go back and forth this way.
This is a little bit different than regular marbleizing in that you want to really spread the colors around so they don't mud up. You don't want it to get muddy.
And then the next color, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. And what this really does is, instead, a lot of people have done it where you put it all in the middle and then pull it out. This we have found, of course there's different methods, and every time you do a different technique, it just gives you a different look.
So that's what's so fun about it.
That's what's fun about it. This is basically what it does. It kind of gets it in all the areas. So I went vertical, horizontal, I did swirl, vertical, horizontal, and now I'm going to do this one in diagonal. Like that. And last but not least, I'm going to do it the opposite way. The opposite diagonal. Okay. And we still have enough for our third project. Okay, now we're going to take it, and again, this is the fun part. Check this out, guys. You're going to move it. You're going to move it. And this is where you need the gloves because I let this stuff, hang on, Eddie, I'm going to be right with you in 2 seconds. I let this stuff get all over my hands, and it just drips right down into our tin. And you can see, again, you can manipulate it to where you want, because when you want it to stop, all you have to do is place it down right on top of
and
your...
And you want to, I think, place it down so that you get a thick coating. You know, it will dry overnight and it will all dry clear, you know, or the color, but so you really want it to be that nice thick layer, almost like a thick resin on there.
Look at that one.
Beautiful.
So what I like to do then is I like to come to the sides, just tap it. You want to cover all that canvas. See right here. Ooh, we got a little spot right there. Go on.
Yeah, you just wiggle it and it just moves right in.
It. Then I'm gonna tap it around like this and see that. We got everything covered now, and then I'm gonna place it down. Let's get a shot of that. It's nice and thick, you guys. You want it nice and thick, and that's going to dry completely. It's a little foggy. Where's our sample?
Right here.
There it is. These are the same colors as this one. That's the way it's gonna dry. Beautiful. And this is gonna take, I always say do everything overnight.
It's definitely overnight.
It's definitely overnight. And that's it. You wanna put this away in a non-draft kind of, just...
Yeah, you don't want to blow it.
And somewhere where the kids don't touch it.
Yes, because Sophia, Eddie was like, don't touch. And then what do we see? Whoop, 3 little fingers going in.
Okay.
Of course, right? Don't touch.
So here it is. Last look. Gonna put it away. Au revoir, adios. And Cathie is going to show you what we're gonna do with our leftover, and this is also super cool.
So these are really fun. Everybody knows in dorm rooms you're limited on what you can hang on the walls, and we do have some solutions for that coming up next. But before, I want to show you something that you can do for your windows, and these are clings, and it's using the same exact formula. Now, we cut them into stars in a little planet shape, but of course you can cut them into any shape. You can spell out words. We've got some designs over here on the window.
Eddie, check. Let's come over here.
Take a look.
Ready? And here we go, right there. So look at that. Look at how pretty. We did some stars, we did a moon, some planets, and you can also do letters. We spelt out love, and that's just right outside of the window.
And they are easy to come on and off. So you can see that if you have a star, they easily just peel right off, so it's not going to do any damage to your window, and you can stick it back on wherever you want. Again, this is fun for your room decor, but going back to seasonal, you could do this for anything. Big game day, holidays, Halloween, you could make a whole bunch of bats and pumpkins.
Yeah.
So it's very simple. I'm using a tile. I like a shiny tile. You can use any non-stick surface, but this is just something I have in the craft room that we use a lot. And for this, I'm gonna do kind of the same idea as Steve, just pour these out. Now, all of these colors here have 1 drop of food coloring, and that's a liquid food coloring, kind of a gel liquid. You can use any kind of food coloring. And this is the colors that you get with the 1 color. If you wanna make them darker, like our planets, like that, this is 3 drops of each color. And you can see it's much, much darker. So you kind of have to play around with it and figure out what one you really like. So let's go ahead and add a little bit more, and then I'll cross over this way, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the clear. The clear is actually just the regular formula without anything in it. And once again, we're just going to do sort of that. This gets very heavy.
I was telling Cathie, this reminds me of, remember Cold Stones?
Oh,
with
yeah,
the ice cream?
Just kind of move it around. You want to get it nice and marbleized so it has all different kinds of colors mixed together. And then you just set it aside and you're going to let it dry. And once it's dry, you can cut it with any kind of scissors. We did X-Acto knife and we did just scissors. So a good tip is use cookie cutters to trace around. Once it's dry, you'll be able to peel it up just like this. It comes off in one big clean sheet. And then you can use stencils, whatever you want, to cut out letters, shapes, stars.
Anything.
And if you have a non-stick mat, a self-healing mat, you can layer it down and just do a craft knife, an X-Acto knife, trace around, or it's just so easy to just cut with scissors, whatever design you want. And then you just cling it right onto your window.
So you never, ever waste Mod Podge.
No.
Make it clean.
I've got more I can make.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's move on. How about let's do some decor. This is really
And it's so huge because everybody wants this coordinate. You have a small space in a dorm room or a first apartment.
Yeah.
You want to really make it personalized and you want to make it coordinated.
And there's this thing with big sister, little sister. Some of you might know about it, some of you might not, but they're gifts.
Sorority.
Yeah, it's sororities, and the big sister gives the little sisters, the new ones who come in, usually a gift. And this is kind of fun, and they always put big sister, little sister. So what we did was, again, on a 12 by 12 canvas here, we just added a piece, we Mod Podged a piece of scrapbook paper right on top of the canvas here. And we added these two letters, these were wood letters. We put a glitter on top of those, and then with the paper mache and sign, we did the exact same thing. We just traced around a piece of paper and slapped that on. And this is really inexpensive and kind of really personal and really cool to do. I'm going to show you just how to do the paper mache. You can see it's just the paper mache and sign. We just painted that like so. And yes, we did use the color shift on top of this, and you can kind of see we painted the whole thing just because that's the way we are.
Well, it's nice because then you get a nice level.
And there's nothing peeking through, but you can see this color shift and how it's a really pretty how it shines with how it works with the lighting.
And our galactic theme.
And the galactic theme. So we're just using Mod Podge gloss on this. And
I'm
again, let me get
out and move this.
Okay. Let me use a piece of wax paper here. So the first thing I like to do is I'm just going to add the Mod Podge right on top of the entire painted paper mache and sign. We're just going to cover that. Again, just a nice thin layer, nothing too thick. Don't need it. And we're just going to go right on over it. Now you can also do this in matte. If you want matte, we're using the original gloss today.
Yeah, any of the formulas.
And I'm going to go right on the back of our paper and just, again, do a nice thin layer. I like to do both pieces. Thin layer. Okay, and then we're just going to put this right on top here. And you're going to line it up. And remember, I just cut this out. I just traced this.
And with tracing, please use a pencil so you can erase your marks.
10-4 on that.
Drives me nuts.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to go over it with a quick, sealing these edges, getting any bit of that Mod Podge that might have seeped over to the sides. Dries clear, we all know that. Boom, gives it a nice gloss right on top. And there you have it. It's as simple as that. We glued this right on top of the piece of 12 by 12 sheet with the letter E's, and you might notice that there's a little bit of a splattering going on here with the gold. I just used some gold paint and I splattered. You can see the difference with the gold paint here. A lot of people like to use paintbrushes. I like to use toothbrushes. Again, I always say to people, do a test before so you don't get a big old glob or you don't want it. And we just splattered right on top of it because splattering's kind of in. I like to do it. And we just did that, and we have other projects that we also splattered on.
So we did that same technique where we splattered with the toothbrush. We did full cart gold and silver metallic onto a black hanger, just a store-bought hanger. And we added these hooks, and this creates a fun jewelry hanger that you can hang your jewelry and accessories. You can tie scarves to the bottom of this. This is great. You're going to be limited on space in a small closet area, so this gives you a fun place to hang all your accessories. And on the top there, again, just had a little image from that scrapbook pack. Put that on there. This can be customized to any look.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Very simple.
And this one couldn't be easier. We got this caddy at IKEA. This already came black, so we didn't even have to paint it black. And we just did the splattering behind it. We used the gold and the silver. And then we just added right on top here, just some cutouts. We added some ribbon. You can see the splattering right behind here. This could be used for journaling. This could be used for crafting, makeup, whatever you want. Again, it was just plain black, and this just kind of adds that galactic pop to it.
Well, one of the things I think for dorm room too is that you really need to be pretty precise on your organization. It's a small space
Oh yes,
again.
I remember well.
So, you know, these kinds of things are going to be really fun. And so you can make this if you know someone going off to school. This is a fun way to alter something for them. Even those plastic drawer organizers and things like that, you can really trick those out with Mod Podge.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Steve showed you the glitter G and E, and I wanted to show you quickly how we did that glittering on some clothespins. Back here, we have this fun way of displaying little clip outs. You know, you might have magazine cutouts or photos of friends. You may have magazine or concert tickets, that kind of thing.
Just a piece of ribbon with boom.
Because you are limited on how you can hang things in a dorm room. A lot of people do a string with a couple of command hooks and clothespins, so we thought let's show you how to decorate those clothespins really quickly. I just have plain wood clothespins, and I'm going to use some Mod Podge gloss. And for this, I like to pour a little bit of the gloss out because I don't want to get glitter in my actual jar. I like using gloss for glittering because it is shiny, and we're going to seal the glitter, so that's nice to have that shiny. You can also seal it with any of the glitter formulas like sparkle or whatever, extreme glitter, but this is just gloss. So you just want to paint the Mod Podge, and you can go right into that. It's not going to affect how that works. Paint that right on there, and then working over a folded piece of paper to catch your glitter, just sprinkle that glitter on there, and then tap off your excess, and you're going to let that dry before you top coat. And on this littler one, we use that same black color shift paint. And this is a fun way too, if you want to just add a little bit of glitter, you can paint half of it with one color and then just sprinkle some glitter on that and tap off. And you've already got a little bit more of a glammed up clothespin going on. Now this one here is dried, and to seal it, you're just going to take a little bit of your gloss and go over that glitter. And I really do recommend sealing them because you don't want glitter flaking off all over your room. At least I don't want it. Although my room is full of glitter, and probably my face too. My husband was like, he went to work and he had glitter on his face, and I was like, oh well, that happens
With
when
the
you
guys.
live here.
What are you gonna do? That's it. Those couldn't be easier.
Yeah, it's so simple, and
Very
you can
simple.
see we did a whole array of colors. You know, hot pink, purple. We just went with the colors that were in our themes.
Yeah, so easy.
Very simple, and they're fun. People clip up. I was looking at the tapestries and pictures.
Well, and also all the football games, concert tickets, I mean, all the little
Everything.
stubs, you know, you kind of keep everything.
And we ran out of time, but we were talking about gluing a magnet to the back.
Yeah.
To do on fridges and things like that.
Yeah, we
Little memo
didn't
clip.
get to the magnets, but you can do magnets. Okay, another really simple project and a great transformation is doing a composition book. You can see your plain 99-cent composition books can be turned into something like this.
And
which
actually, these are 50 cents right now because of back to school sale.
Okay, 50 cents. But the transformation's amazing because, again, this is something like we talk about all the time, is giving things as gifts, you know, and it's just nice because there's thought put into it, and you can, again, customize it however you want with any type of paper you.
And they can use these for notes and stuff like that, but it's also really good for bullet journals.
Oh, yeah.
Or if they do want to scrapbook something, these are great for that. And I've actually personally made these as teacher gifts for my girls' teachers, and they loved them.
Okay, I'm going to do this backwards so camera can see this. So the first thing you want to do is get your composition book, and I definitely like to put a piece of wax paper in it because what you don't want to do is you don't want to Mod Podge all your pages together, because if you didn't, this could drip down and kind of seal it. So that's just kind of an easy, quick tip that you want to do. Second is gloss, please.
Gloss. I'm always taking it.
You want to cover your entire book with Mod Podge. Now I'm just going up to this black line right here
Another sheet of wax paper.
because we're going to add a little ribbon to that little area. So you're just going to do all the way down. I like to just throw it up there. You don't have to be too careful because when you've been Mod Podging for 147 years, you're pretty good at it. So here we go. Okay. Thanks for that wax paper.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought that might come in handy.
Yes. And then we're gonna do
all the wax paper over here.
we're gonna do the back of the galactic zodiac paper that we chose, Just gonna go right on top of that. Boom, boom, boom. And again, this is, you can do notebooks, you can do composition books, you can do regular books that you purchased. Nothing from the library.
I don't think they would like that.
No. And then we're gonna go right on top of it. Let me move that. And we're just going to line it up right there. I already pre-cut this, so it fits very nicely. And we're just gonna press that down like so. Beautiful. Then I'm gonna take our Dare to Dream Big. We're gonna do a little bit of layering. We got this from our Galactic pack also. And you're just going to add your Mod Podge straight on there. Just a nice thin layer is all you need. And we're gonna line it up. Well, how did I do that one? Up a little bit higher. So we're gonna go right in between there. That looks pretty good. I hope it's centered up. Of course, if I was doing this without a Facebook Live, it would have been a little bit more careful, but you guys all get the idea and you've seen us do this before. Then I'm just gonna go around my edges. I like to go with my fingers a little bit and rub that in. And that's it. And here's another little tip. You're gonna wanna let this sit and dry for a couple hours. And then what I like to do is I like to flip it over. Just flip it over for, you know, a couple hours or a day or whatever it takes. Just because it is wet on wet, it is paper on paper, and sometimes it bows up a little bit. So this way it'll just flatten out and it will stay down. Yeah.
So we've got some other fun ideas just using that basic principle of Mod Podge and paper to a surface. And we've got this cute dorm, sweet dorm artwork on a 12 by 12 canvas. We painted it black. Again, we just Mod Podged down a piece of paper. And one thing I did different was I tore the edges because I just wanted to create a little bit more of that sort of cloudy look. And then I used a fine tip marker to go over with Dorm Sweet Dorm. You could paint that on there or stencil it, but I was just practicing my hand at my handwriting. So that is a really fun way. We use a little bit more of that sparkle just to add some highlights to this cute artwork. We did some other shelf artwork. These can hang on a wall. I mean, it's easy to hang on a wall, but again, we know it's difficult with hanging on a wall. So these are some really fun looks where you can just keep layering up your papers and adding ribbons, and we did some of our Mod Podge glitter down in there. So just a really fun way to create some coordinated artwork. Again, small space, make all your things match. Grab that paper pack and grab your favorite Mod Podges. Really fun way to create a cool look.
Yeah, and that paper that Cathie used on the Dorm Sweet Dorm, that's the exact same paper we did here on the fridge. These are 4 pieces, Mod Podge together directly onto our fridge. And I'm gonna show you that we used the dishwasher safe formula. And the reason why we did that is because, you know, it's around a fridge. There could be moisture, it could be spillage, whatever. So the dishwasher safe keeps it safe.
And it does have a longer cure time.
Yes.
But I think for wiping and stuff for the future, this is really
it's good for the fridge.
Or the Ultra.
Yeah.
The
and
Ultra.
then with the Zodiac paper, we just put that right on top. So this was really four solid sheets and then the Zodiac right on top to give it this look.
With 5 pieces of scrapbook paper total, we completely transformed a mini fridge.
Yeah,
it's
very
kind
cool.
of, you know, so it's endless what you
This
can
is
do.
fun. Yeah.
You can even collage color copies of
Oh,
photos of
it's
your family
endless.
and friends. Now we've got 2 last projects to show you, and one of them is the sorority, and I guess fraternity's doing too. I don't know. I wasn't in a sorority. My little sister was, but the paddle is a gift that's given all the time.
Yeah.
So this one we went with our galactic theme. So we've got our big sis Gina and our little sis Amy, and we cut out the zodiac symbols that we used on the front of the refrigerator just to be their signs, and we made a door, a fraternity, sorority. We made up this Delta, what was it? I wrote it. Delta Sigma Pi. So hopefully that's a fake one.
I always laugh because I didn't do a fraternity because I refused to do it, and we always said, I lived in this big house with like 16 other people, and we called it Delta Delta Drink a Beer. was our fraternity, our fake fraternity.
Well, I went to many a sorority and fraternity party, but I was not in one.
You probably came to mine. We had so many parties.
So one thing I want to show you quickly about this paddle, it's the same technique. We cut the paper, we Mod Podged it down, we use ribbons on the edges, you know, we customized it.
Yeah.
It looks like we painted this.
It does.
We did not. This is actually scrapbook paper that looks like watercolor.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So we started up here at the top and we cut that to size and Mod Podged that. And then we used a second sheet going this direction and we seamed them up here. One thing, if your pieces of paper don't fit, find a spot to seam it and Mod Podge a little piece of paper over it. That's a really great way to make one sheet of paper appear much bigger. So if you're doing a paddle project, grab 2 sheets that look like painting and it takes all the work out of it for you. Super simple to do. And you could add glitter. I added sparkle up here, but you know, it's just whatever your personal preference is.
Okay, let's show our last one and it's over here. So Eddie, come on over. So this one was really simple and we were at IKEA and we saw this lamp and this lamp was just all glass. So we basically put a piece of scrapbook paper just around here. We found these moons in that pack and we thought that was cool. We kept the top quarter part of it, kind of didn't touch it, and we just wrapped the paper right around that. And I just think, again, this is just something that if you have a theme in your dorm room, that you can just add a piece of paper just right around it, and it just adds a little bit of a something extra to it. Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it. What a galactic day.
12 plus galactic projects that you can make. Make sure you share these ideas. All of these projects, you'll be able to find them on Instagram.
Yes.
Please, if you're using any Plaid products for your dorm room designs, make sure you tag Plaid Crafts. Go to all of our social channels on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can catch this video in repeat here at Facebook, and it will also be uploaded to YouTube.
What a far out day.
Sky's the limit.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us.